Hello, hello, and welcome back to Burrows. It's been a hot minute, hasn't it? But there's a new build, and it's Ken's. And I must say, I actually think I like Ken's card the best. I don't know, I've always been a big fan of like dark blue color palettes. And yep, that I do like it. I kind of hope they sell these as merch at some point. The cards, yeah, would definitely use them as my field center in Yu-Gi-Oh. Or maybe not. Maybe this no, I would. That implies I still play Yu-Gi-Oh though, so maybe that's not gonna happen. How much are Predaplants right now? No, I'm not gonna check that at the moment. I sigh and grab Ken's card, trying to ignore its macabre design. I hope the others would forgive me. I take a deep breath and do whatever these mysterious forces obviously want me to do. I place his card next to Virgil's together in my hand. Immediately, they start to glow and vibrate. I throw out my other hand. Is there? Wait a minute. Did I remember? Yeah, music's all good. Okay. I was wondering if maybe, I don't know. I thought there was audio here. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe I'm remembering incorrectly. I throw out my other hand to try and keep them from falling, but soon the light envelops everything around me. And I'm falling. Oh, this is new, I think. How the hell? I touched the card, then there was the flash of light, and now... Trying... Maybe, is that too loud? That's fine. Trying to find my footing, I take a cautious step forward. The ground is suspiciously soft. I take a deep breath and a confident step, immediately falling over as the floor collapses under my weight. Expecting to fall to my death, I'm pleasantly surprised when I land on a shifting layer of some strange substance. It's almost how I imagined it'd feel to walk on a cloud, albeit a dark and stormy one. Using that as a guide, I pull myself up and continue forward with caution, and treading as lightly as possible. I can't seem to make any progress. Why would the cards send me here anyway? The occasional soft boom in the distance reminds me of thunder, and I wonder if I'm somehow high up enough to be in the clouds. Ignoring how ridiculous that sounds, I technically have to be somewhere, right? Maybe some kind of mountain? Was New Orleans closer to the Appalachia than I thought? It's impossible to tell what direction I'm walking in. I could be going in circles for all I know. Keep walking. Hello? Is there anyone else here? I'm feeling worn out. I should step and rest. Don't stop. I feel a rush of cold wind behind me, causing nerves to shudder all along my spine. Ooh, okay. Oh, that's fun. Before I can even turn around, two beams of light pierce through the smoky darkness on either side of me. The air around me begins to vibrate. Images of my impending death start to flood my mind, and I'm paralyzed. I try to spurt out a few words, refusing to look behind me. No, please! I hear something grunt, sniff around, and breathe in my neck. Oh, breath on my neck. The lights blink. He blinks. Run. But the floor. No, it doesn't matter. If I die here anyway, it won't be because of him. Take a deep breath. In, out. Taking the first step is always the hardest. But we have to. We snap to attention and dash forward. The earth gathers under us like a loosened rug, but eventually we gain our footing and push away into the darkness. Oh, that looks a little loud. Turn that down a little bit. The follows close behind. its burning gaze nipping at our heels. We try to focus on a single point into the void, but it's no use. The earth beneath us continues to unmake itself with each step. We're not gonna make it. No, we must. Gods above is this. A beam of light pierces through the blank clouds and stretches towards us. It's so bright, it looks like solid gold, like we could reach out and grab it. This feeling, it's been so... It's too late. He's upon me. Just as his claws dig into my back, I feel the I feel the warmth of the light touch my outstretched hand. The pain of my severed spine melts away, and I feel myself pulled into embrace. Huh. I mean, I figured this all took place in the woods, given the card. Looks like where I live. Half the roads look like this. Well, this is unexpected. I'm on some sort of paved road, but it's so smooth. Perfectly smooth. And really long. Did somebody really lay all of that tarmac by hand? I look up at the lights dotted across the length of the road. They keep going for miles, piercing the night sky like pinholes in a paper lantern. They continue further than I can see, past a line of trees that surround me on both sides. It feels like the middle of nowhere. A cool breeze pushes past me and through the leaves. It's so quiet I can practically hear each leaf rustling on the branches. It's not so cold that I'm shivering, but there's a palpable humidity in the air that reminds me of home. Well, what was my home. Shit, they probably noticed I was gone by now. I suddenly noticed my shadow growing in front of me as another set of bright lights hurtle towards me. Fuck, he's back! I whip around and get blinded in their glare. What the... I jump out of the way, and it zooms past me, stopping a few yards away. The screeching echoes through the empty valley. I crack open an eye and see what almost hits me. Excuse me. It takes a moment for the after image that was burned into my retinas to fade, but things slowly come into focus. It's just some guy riding some sort of motorbike. A long feline tail hits the kickstand, and the sound of the engine idling fills the space between us. Wait, could it be? Okay, sir. It's Ken! Route 1. Okay. That looks nice. He's okay. Thank God. I'm glad picking that card wasn't some kind of trick. But why does he look so pissed at me? He stares expectantly, and I try to compose myself. Hey! God, he's just the hottest one, guys. Okay. Are you fucking slow? Huh? He sneers and revs his motor. I can barely hear him over it. You trying to become roadkill? Speed bump. I stutter, and not expecting a radically targeted insult. I know he was blunt towards us earlier, but never outright rude. I center myself and approach him slowly. No, I wasn't, actually. He rolled his eyes and sucks his teeth. So you just jumped in front of a bike for cheap thrills, then? There's easier ways to die, you know. My expression tightens. He smiles, clearly enjoying teasing me. Ah, I see now.
You wanted to take someone with you, so you'd have some company in the devil's waiting room, right? What a sad, sad little man.
Why is he being such a dick? Does he not recognize me or something? Okay, Ken, what the hell is your problem? His eyes go wide, then slowly smolder into a sharp glare.
How? Do you know my name?
What are you? He tightens his grip on the handlebars.
Who sent you? Fuck, they sent a detective this far east already.
Detective? What are you talking about? He begins backing up his bike, and I wait for him to stop.
Keep the fuck away from me, man.
No, please. We need to talk. Something is wrong. We were just in that place, with the others. He stares at me, eyes searching for something. Something we both knew was true. He has to remember. That wasn't just some dream. Ken, please. He shakes it off and whips the back of his bike around, starting the engine again.
Just leave me alone.
Ken! My yell gets cut off by the loud rip of his bike's motor, and he leaves me behind in a cloud of exhaust. I choke on the fumes and start to tear up. I watch until his headlights disappear from view. He's gone. Again. God fucking damn it. I was actually glad to see him. I fall back against the railing and slide onto the cold ground, feeling those tears begin to stream down my face. That wasn't Ken. Not the same Ken I knew. He was the first to disappear. He looked straight at me, his eyes full of terror. But just now, his eyes were full of confusion, disgust, even... Did those moments between us in the Golden Place mean nothing to him? My face still hurts from crying over him earlier. Fuck. I wipe my snout, praying nobody else passes by to see this pathetic display. Whatever I'm feeling about Ken right now, I can't stay here. I need to find a town or something. I get up and dust myself off, looking to the direction Ken went. It's a safe bet that it was toward civilization of some sort. Or, at the very least, some sort of rest stop. I don't have any money, but if you're oh my god. But if they're offering work, I'll do whatever it takes until I can figure out where I am and how to get home. Taking a deep breath, I start plodding forward. Being able to see how far the road ahead of me is stretching on made this feel daunting, but I have no other option. When I look over the railing earlier, it was a straight 20-foot drop into wilderness, no ladders. I hold myself and continue on, trying to keep my mind busy to distract from the dull task. I wonder if I'm still in Louisiana. I can tell it's still spring from the sparse new growth on the surrounding nature. So I don't think any significant time has passed. Yet it doesn't feel like home. It feels off, removed from what I know. It must be really late too. Aside from Ken, there hasn't been any other vehicles. This kind of road seems extremely newfangled, so maybe people just don't know about it yet. There aren't many scuffs or tire marks. This could have been built yesterday for all I know. That thought brings to mind the source of my pain, not knowing. I met Virgil, a bunch of unexplainable things happened, I met the others, and then... tired. It's true. I can feel the fatigue in my body and stop for a moment. No, wait. I can't stop now. Not until I can find an exit. Trudging forward for another 30 minutes, I eventually get a bend in the road with a steep incline. This will bring me closer to the ground, at least. Maybe I can climb down now. I slowly approach and look down from the top of the ramp. I guess I could slide down on my butt. I sit on the edge, holding my tail in my arm and gulp, scooting down an inch at a time. So far, so good. Uh-oh, I'm turning. Before I can stop myself, I do a 180 and catch a rough patch of asphalt, turning my side into a full-body tumble. I roll down what feels like hundreds of feet before I hit the bottom with a dull thud. Ugh. I can't breathe. I'm gonna be bruised all over tomorrow. I peel myself off the road and look at the gravitational adversity. It was only a 10-foot drop. That's high, though. Well, at least nobody saw that. What the fuck did I just watch? Busted. I stiffened up. There's someone else here. Turning slowly, I look back over my shoulder. Hello? Is that a possum? It's dark. I can't see who's talking. Looks like it. Kinda rough around the edges. 2 voices. I'm outnumbered. This could be bad. I can see fine at night, but only so many feet ahead. All I see are 2 vague outlines, one bigger one smaller. Show yourselves! Silence, some muttering. An affirmation. Colt, turn on your blinders. Half brightness. Roger. Another flash of light, and then... And 2 men, clad in leather, and leaning on their bikes. That's what that says. Oh. A tall, imposing otter with a lit cigarette hanging from his lips smiles at me, tipping his hat politely. Across from him is a short, lanky pine marten. That's what that says. Arms crossed and expression skeptical. And they look friendly enough. After a moment, the otter ashes his cigarette on the sole of his boot and walks over to me. The marten flashes him an exasperated look before shrugging and turning away, scoffing to himself.
Hey there, fella. Are you lost? This ain't exactly a walking kind of road, Poss. Not great for hitchhiking either.
You could say that. I'm not supposed to be here. Or rather, I need to find a town. Are you 2 headed this way? I smile weakly at the marten, who continues to ignore me.
Well, we're still a few miles out from Shamrock.
Shamrock? I instinctively cover the pin of my lapel, having forgotten to take it off beforehand. The big lug doesn't notice and continues on.
Me and Colt here, we're just taking a quick smoke break. Colt and I.
He waves dismissively at Colt before turning his attention back to me.
I promise his bark is worse than his bite.
Right. So, would you mind giving me a lift? I hate to impose, but...
We'd be happy to. Isn't that right, Colt?
He sucks his teeth and pushes off his bike, heading my way. Stopping just short of stepping on my shoes, he sizes me up before getting right into my face. He's kinda cute, despite being pissed. He's the cute one? Great. Okay.
Just because Jesse here has decided to trust you, it doesn't mean I won't be keeping an eye on you, Poss.
So the big guy's named Jesse, huh? I can't say it really fits. Well met, Colt. Jesse, I'll try not to be a burden. And, my name's Gray.
Ain't no trouble, Gray. Helping folks out is what we do.
Really now? I look expectantly at Colt, hoping he'll fill me in on the details. Instead, he just nods, hops on his bike, backing it up to face the road instead. That one will be difficult, it seems. I follow Jesse over to his bike and try to whisper to him discreetly. Is he mad at me? Oh, fuck, that's a cute expression.
Who, Colt? Puh, he's just a little uptight is all. He's right to be careful, especially in these parts. Speaking of, I couldn't help but detect some twang in your voice. You wouldn't happen to be a fellow Southerner, would you?
Louisiana, yeah. I pause for a moment. This shamrock wouldn't happen to be near New Orleans, would it? He blinks a few times before scratching the back of his head.
Can't say it is. We're headed towards Oklahoma right now. Texas being back that-a-way.
He points behind me. I'll be honest, I didn't exactly know where Oklahoma is on a map, but I know Louisiana borders Texas on its western side, so it's not too crazy a jump in distance. Maybe I got drunk, imagined that whole mess with the golden place, and actually wandered into the wilderness. I must have pissed off Ken in my drunken stupor and made him leave, only to bump into me again just now. We both know that makes zero sense. Yep, that's the story I'm going with for anyone, if anyone asks. My thoughts get interrupted by Colt honking his horn impatiently, tapping his boot against the footrest.
Save the chit-chat for the road, you Nancies. Yeah. Anyways, the impatient one, that boy. Oh, always the impatient one, that boy. Come on, Gray. Let me help you get on.
I grab on his muscular arm, and he pulls me onto the back of his seat. I slide a few inches down the softer leather until my crotch firmly rests against his rudder. His tail is so thick at the base it acts as a natural spacer between our torsos. I embrace the cone of fluff and shiver at the soft sensation. I purred by accident. Sorry. He laughs, revving the engine a few times as he lines up next to Colt's bike.
Pay it no mind, Poss. I know my big behind. It takes up most of the seat. Unless Cole wants to give you a ride instead.
He smiles cheekily at the Martin, who rolls his eyes, cracking a small smile himself.
In your dreams, Jess. Come on.
The Martin revs a few times, then speeds up into the night, with our bike following suit. I've never been on a motorbike before, so I don't know what to expect. We suddenly lurch forward, our center of gravity delicately balanced between the two skinny wheels. I feel my stomach turn and bury my face in the Jesse's tail, eyes glued shut. With every slight shift in direction, I feel us lean closer to the asphalt speeding by, threatening to grind my flesh down like a belt sander. Jesse!
You say something?
No sharp turns, please. He gasps and reduces our speed, the loud engine now a somewhat reasonable hum.
I'm sorry, Jess. I'm sorry, Gray. I'm used to picking up other bikers. Guess this is your first time, then.
I nod into his tail.
Gotcha. There's nothing like a man's first time on the open road.
Really? He shrugs.
Well, maybe it'll take a few times, but I guarantee it'll hit you eventually.
We stay quiet for a while, and I get used to the sensation. Eventually, I straighten my back and open my eyes, watching the trees and lights zip us by. He hums to himself, clearly trying to come up with something to talk about. I decide to break the ice. So, motorcycles, eh? He laughs heartily, and I feel my face get hot, only now realizing how asinine that sounds. Well, I mean, I've met more bikers in one night than I'd ever seen back home. I didn't know it was catching on.
Really? 2 is the most you've seen.
3, and yes.
Well, Colt, me and Colt are both part of the club. Dunno about the third guy.
A club just for cyclists? That's rather specific.
It's a bit more complicated than that, pal. Motor clubs are, well, at least the one me and Colt are part of, help keep roads as safe as can be. Helping lost folks like yourself, reporting accidents, breaking up fights.
Fights? Isn't that something the police should be handling? He sighs deeply before continuing.
The cops aren't so concerned about folks like me and Colt.
Just because you're bikers?
Not every biker is a good egg, Gray. Plenty of people just gangsters out for themselves, causing problems for everyone. It's also a bit more than just our occupation that gives folks pause. Reckon you already knew that, being from the south and all.
I guess. I'd only be considered slightly above Mustalid in the bizarre social food chain. Anyway, okay.
It's easy for people to connect dots. That's actually isn't there.
I'll admit, I thought he and Colt looked imposing at first, but it only took a few minutes of talking to them to know they meant no harm. I wonder if Ken is the latter type of biker. No, there's no way he'd be a criminal. We can't afford to take people for granted. We need to be smarter. I know.
First sign of trouble, we run, understand?
Right. Survival first.
Sound like a true possum.
Are you a possum too? I see a glow from the horizon.
We're here. Stay left, Jess. Roger.
He looks over his shoulder at me and grins.
Looks like our time together's almost up, Gray.
A melancholic feeling starts to wash over me. I hate goodbyes, even if I'd only known these guys for less than an hour. It must be showing on my face. I see his smile fade through the side mirror.
Well, it doesn't have to be goodbye yet. I'll talk to Colt when we're done refueling. You want to go back home, don't you?
Yeah.
Maybe when we're done with our business and, OKC, I can see about setting you up a ride down south. Can't guarantee it'll be right away, but you'll be in good hands.
Are you sure? That seems like a big detour.
I bet Colt will want to see the Big Easy for himself. Just gotta convince him to add it to our list of cities.
Thanks. I'd love to show you guys around. He's being awfully generous, considering we just met, but I guess it might be part of his club philosophy. And look at me, talking like a local, as if I can actually claim New Orleans as my hometown. I'll have to deal with my friends chewing me out the second I get back, too. At least I have nice company for the time being. Right. Be cautious. Oh, okay. Alright. I think this is a good place to end the part for now, so I will see you all around.